What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the HallBall Podcast. This is episode 3. Back with the boys, Big Ty over here, Mateo, Mad in the left side of my screen. How you boys doing? What's going on today, boys? How's your
Great,
force?
great. It was nice. I got some sun. I'm actually kind of sunburnt on my face. I was at the pool.
Are you?
Mm,
I can't really tell.
Chill.
it's
Oh,
a
yeah?
tiny bit, but I burn
Maybe
a
I'm glowing. Who knows?
I burn a lot as well, and it turns into a nice tan afterwards. Big
Just three,
Ty, how are you?
three white guys getting sunburned. So that's what it sounds like. I am also burnt. Uh, Went kayaking this weekend.
Kayaking.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, I had the family over this weekend. It was hectic. They were here a little too long. That was my opinion.
Mm,
Yeah, and they said I wanted them to leave like at the nighttime of the 4th. But hey, we move.
yeah.
A lot happened in the fucking week. Now, what I've noticed with this podcast stuff is that we record literally once a week, and sometimes the stuff from last Friday can feel old. And like just because we record on a Monday, release on a Friday, there's already so much news that happens in between then. It's like draft, summer league, new signings, extensions. I didn't even think extensions would be as big as they are, but then we have some contracts here we're about to talk about that are kind of insane. So I just feel like there's so much to talk about, but then also it feels like I'm a little late on some of them. You're like, oh yeah, I guess we never talked about this signing, even though it felt like one of the first FA signings. But I'm ready to tackle it with you boys. Sometimes I want to talk in our chat to figure out some of these contracts and what our opinions are, but save for the pod has been the new motto for me.
Hashtag save it for the pod.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think we should tackle free agency signings to start. I think we talked about the draft in length last episode. I think we have a good idea about their potentials. Summer League has just started. We'll get that into a little bit, but we're only one game in as of day of recording. So nothing too much to say other than Keegan Murray is incredible. But FA signings. Matt has sent us a long list. I'm not going to put it on the screen or anything. It's also not because I don't know how to do this on this Discord. But I think we all decided to highlight some of our favorites, some of our not so exciting signings of the free agency period. Some of them where we think their contracts are insane, where not even that bad of a player, but what they're given is kind of not adding up. So who do I start this with here? I want Big Ty to start. Tyler, since the last time we've talked, I know we talked about like Porzingis and everything for the Wizards, but what's the biggest, or what's I guess the biggest signing in your mind or extension in your mind so far this FA period?
Biggest. That's really tough. There were some good ones. I think there's gonna be some trades still, so we got plenty of action coming. My favorite is the Tyrese Halliburton extension. You can't go wrong with that, even if it is a max extension.
Mm-hmm.
That man just knows how to play basketball. He's great, old school point guard, kind of Chris Paul-esque in some ways. He is definitely taller though. I want to say he's like 6'5", right?
Mm-hmm. But
Uh,
both can defend. I
Both
will
can,
agree.
yeah, and put effort into it, which is two different things for sure. So that was probably the best extension. One of the signings I was looking at, Herb Jones, 4 years, $54 million. People probably don't think a lot about Herb Jones, but that man is great defense, and since Zion doesn't play, he has come in quite a bit and helped stabilize that team. Then one weird one, Kevin Love, 2 years for $7 million. That seems just, that man was kind of out of the league in playoffs. We didn't really see much of him, and now
Where did
he's
he sign
got
to?
2 years, $7 million
To where?
to Miami. So
Stayed
same
there.
team,
I was
same
gonna
team that didn't
answer.
play
I
him.
was gonna answer, but then I forgot. There's been so many small moves like the Kevin Love move where you're just like, huh? Like y'all were talking about Seth Curry one of those moves where you're just like, you'll just find out he shows up on another team. You're like, oh, that's kind of someone of note to bring up. Seth Curry, everyone remembers Seth Curry.
I
But
mean,
but yeah, 2 year, 9 mil. I think that's got to be the vet minimum. I should probably
yeah,
know that.
it is. It is.
Yeah.
But
So
still, I mean, the 2 year option is kind of the weird thing. Uh,
I
especially
don't.
when they didn't play him again. What is he? What is his role really going to be?
That's a funny
That
one. What I will ask you, Tyler, just to bring one more debate to your signing here. Someone else who did get a max and a 5 year deal was LaMelo Ball. Do you have an opinion about that max extension? I
Uh,
I
I
might.
think you got to give it to him. I mean, he's maybe not the Michael Jordan where he's going to run your team into a championship. But he's still pretty freaking good, I would say. He can assist pretty well. He's obviously can score when he's not injured. So you kind of have to do that move, or you would have to trade him eventually, which I don't think that's what they're going to do in Charlotte. Who's going to sign there to replace him?
I
Uh,
I don't know actual context in terms of like needing to extend him right now. I know some people stay on their rookie deals for a while. I didn't know if it was up, but the 5 year extension for a guy who in every season he's played in has had significant like time lost, and without him, that team is like borderline we're tanking. If he goes down again, even with Brandon Miller, they'd want to tank again. So I know you could say that with a lot of
yeah,
stars. You could say that with a lot of stars, but some teams are. If you lose somebody like Jokic losing Jamal Murray, you kind of expect like Jokic, who I would consider a max player, obviously the best player in the league. So let me think of someone else.
real hot take there. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I think classifying Jokic as a max player. I'm trying to think of like a super all star who's just like also a max player that would Harden. If Harden goes down, they still have Joel, but like with that team with Lamelo, I don't know. I think the 5 years is crazy. I know there's definitely things within the contract there is a little
Well, yeah.
nitty gritty.
Even another team would give him whatever the max that they would be, which would be like 200 at least.
That is
So
true.
you know,
I don't know the
you know,
legitimates of extending him now though. But that was someone who I was like, I understand Tyrese a little more, even though he also had a bad injury. But LaMelo has had injury for me. I saw
I
Tyrese play
mean,
for the Kings.
I think you really just have to. I don't think there's any question about it.
That's true.
Uh, these aren't people aren't signing to these areas. Indiana Pacers, no one's going there. Uh, so
That's fair. They are like the main part of the team. Thank you for telling me those signings, though, Tyler. There were some big ones. Now, Matt, what do you got over here? What are your favorite and or least favorite
there's
signings?
sorry, I've been looking at the list here, but honestly, I think we got Austin Reeves for a steal.
yeah,
Always the Lakers right away. I was gonna save our own teams, but it's always got to be the Lakers with this
Okay,
guy.
I mean they
I
did get
mean,
a deal
but
though.
they got a steal
You're
on
not
him though.
wrong. You're
Four
not wrong.
years, 50. What is it? 4 year, $56 million.
6,
That's
yeah.
not bad. That's your starting player. He's averaging like what? Didn't he average like 20 points in the playoffs?
Well, I mean, so did like Jamal Murray was like Jesus Christ in the
I'm,
playoffs.
I'm just, I'm just. But the only thing I don't like though is that a lot of people don't know his age.
What?
He's
How old
actually
is he?
25.
Oh yeah.
25.
That's not
Okay.
bad. That's fine. He
Could
still
be
has a couple.
worse.
Yeah,
Okay, but I mean, but the thing is, they're comparing Jordan Poole, and Jordan Poole is, you know what I mean?
Jordan
Like
Poole's
this is Austin
24.
Reeves' first year.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I mean, like they're comparing. Like Jordan Poole's been in the league a lot longer. I mean, I got Austin Reeves on mine because I'm a Lakers fan, but I don't know.
Over Jordan
And then
Poole?
the other one I got Austin Reeves over Jordan Poole. Yeah,
Keep going.
yeah,
yeah. But we don't.
yeah. I got. Anyways, all right. Anyways, the Jordan Clarkson too. That's been my man since he got drafted. He just signed 3 year 55. He's I mean, who else? I mean, didn't he just get moved up to a starting role too? I think that's a good sign.
I
There's
agree. I
probably
agree.
one more here.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, you got to pay Clarkson sixth man of the year.
Yeah.
and another, and I also like the um, Karis. I was thinking about Karis Levert.
I
You're
mean,
I
going with
like the way
you're
he
trying to hit me in my
hoops.
heartstrings.
as a good one, a
I
good one.
like the way he hoops though. He got paid 2 years, 32 million.
So wait, well
That's
that's like getting paid for him for sure.
yeah,
But
yeah.
wait, you don't think that's a good move, Big Ty?
I don't know. I've heard he's kind of a bad locker room guy. Uh,
I
so I
mean,
don't know, man.
I haven't heard that, but definitely not
See,
on the Nets side.
I mean, the sources say that all the time, but I mean, what does that really mean?
Plus, he's just a trade chip for LeBron to go back to the Cavs, anyways.
What do you guys just want to be Skip Bayless today? What?
Sources are telling me.
Yeah.
Okay. You got sources in Cleveland.
Oh my
Yeah, what
God.
do you think, Dennis? What sources? What signings you like?
So, um, see, this is so funny because I look at my notes right now, and then a lot of these guys are just either Nets or former Nets. So
Oh,
I might just like put them in here because I have
pick Cam Johnson.
the opinions on. So I like Cam Johnson. I think you don't trade for him. Make him as big a piece of the Kevin Durant trade if you don't plan on like playing him for a little. Like you're not just gonna give him this half year and be like, we are shipping him.
No, I agree. And it's not.
So
I mean, what 4 years, 108. That's not bad at all for a young guy.
so over 20 a year for Cam Johnson. I was like, good player, but I would have loved that
I like him.
I would have loved that 16 a year deal that Reeves got for Cam Johnson.
Yeah, that's not
I
bad.
don't know.
It's a
A little
steal.
different. Uh,
I would say
Cam
we
Johnson's
have
your number
more.
one, right? Basically, who would be your?
Michael Bridges, number one.
Uh, well, he's
Uh,
still your number two. That's pretty cheap for a number two.
uh, Dinwiddie pretends like he's the number two.
Okay, I think we all know Dinwiddie's not
No,
that good.
he as the point guard, we're not going in about the Nets right now. Like Cam Johnson could be second or third option in some games, but is that winning basketball? It's yet to see. We're gonna let this unit play a full season together. The half season. It's really hard to judge, but even in the half season, I saw Cam Johnson. It was good. I wanted to bring up Kyrie Irving after all
Uh,
that fucking nonsense with him just extending over there in Dallas. Dallas fans were shitting themselves with this guy. They're like, if he leaves, but they only gave up with Dorian Finney-Smith and Dinwiddie, but still,
I don't know. I think this might be one of the worst signings of this whole free agency, honestly.
you think that because what is
Okay.
he? He's averaged like 40 mil a year, and he's got a player option. I'm pretty sure.
I'm just saying that man is not winning basketball. I would not pay unless it's a veteran minimum to the Lakers or something crazy. I don't know about that.
Can I be
Okay.
honest? I gotta disagree there, Ty. If we don't if he doesn't injure his ankle, then the Nets beat the Bucks the year they won it.
It might work one time. I mean, he
He
had that
got
one shot
injured.
in Game 7.
The Cavs made it to the finals without Kyrie one year. Like, but if they had him, like, they're winning it. So I can't say he can't play winning
I mean,
basketball. If
that's just kind of hearsay on
yeah,
both stories.
I know what you're saying. I know it. I get that. But Kevin Durant brought the Bucks, who won it all that year, to Game 7 by himself with no Kyrie Irving and a one-legged James Harden. But Kyrie
It's also a
Irving,
lot of money. It's a lot of money for an aging star
it's a lot for his
who some
age.
might say doesn't play.
Giving a player
Aging,
option.
aging,
He
aging star is crazy to
he
say. He was dropping buckets literally right this past season on the Mavs. I mean, he went
but
like
they
a
also
perfect
missed
like
the
10 for 10 game.
playoffs. Like there,
Yeah,
that's why.
they got worse, which I know there was injuries, but they got worse after that trade.
Well, they have no depth outside of Kyrie and
Yeah,
Luca.
which all that money they could have on a depth is
Wait, what? All
paid.
right, so here, I don't know all of Dallas's signings, right? But let's see. Speaking of depth, what other moves did these guys make? Dallas. They
Dwight Powell, 3 year.
they
Dante
signed
Exum and Seth Curry.
they signed our boy, me and Tyler's boy, Seth Curry,
Seth
3-point
Curry.
specialist.
I just want to say, you guys know Dante Exum wasn't in the league last year, right?
Yeah, I know. No,
I'm not saying
that's
that means
insane.
he's a bad player, but that might be a bad signing. It wouldn't be
Yes,
shocking.
I know. It wouldn't be shocking to me either.
I hated that man in 2K.
Granted, it's a
2K
1 year minimum,
storyline.
so whatever. Not really a big deal.
Yeah, that's a nothing deal. But
And then I
yeah,
think that was it, though.
yeah. Who else? The other free agent signings I think that were good. Desmond Bain. I think with everything going on with Ja, locking down Desmond, who's probably second most, but maybe JJJ, maybe the third most important player on that
J
team.
J Jack.
Yeah, Jaren Jackson Jr., that guy is a beast. But locking Bane down with Ja being so uncertain, I think that's a good move. One move that's like a good player, but I don't like is the extension of Jeremy Grant.
No,
5 year 160.
it's a bad
Uh,
one.
I just didn't think he earned that contract. I think he earned it more in his like Pistons seasons, but uh, Portland has a lot going on right now. They're a
They're
funny
going through it.
organization. Dylan Brooks. What do y'all think about that fucking signing?
Poop.
Also very bad.
How is
I
he?
mean,
In what world is Dylan Brooks making $20 million and Austin Reeves is making
well,
16?
Houston has to spend a lot of money because they have so many like draft picks, and you have to reach 90% of your cap. So that's quite a lot of money. So I get maybe that's their angle on it.
And
But
Fred.
if you're gonna spend that
But
money,
they're
you might as
supposed
well go
to.
get James Harden or something.
Yeah, they're supposed to sign James Harden though. That's what the sources are saying. So it's like
The sources.
The sources are out on that now, bro.
I don't
I
know.
think he's still going.
I don't know what they're thinking because James Harden is still just on the 76ers right now, expecting to be traded.
I,
I'm
just seems
confused.
weird. Why would Houston trade assets now when they could have just straight up signed him? I'm sure someone in Houston could get a message to James Harden saying,
Uh,
"Hey,
maybe he was doing maybe because he's friends with the GM, he wanted to do them solid
Yeah,
to give
Daryl.
them something before his contract.
that just seems like a weird favor when we're talking millions of dollars."
Yeah, but I think Harden also is gonna get that money regardless, so I get it.
I think I think it's also like a win-win where he gets paid and then he can also get traded and then the Sixers could get something in return for him as well. So I think it's like you have nothing to lose from signing that contract.
Yeah, Westbrook, the 2 year 8 million. I cannot believe he's at minimum right now. There's something weird about that because when I watched the Clippers last year, he still was like the second or third best player in that team every time he played.
Easy.
I don't understand how he's vet minimum and Dylan Brooks is getting 4 years, 80 million, but the league is in a weird place right now.
But we understand that Westbrook's not worth 50 million, which is what he made last year, right?
No,
I think
he's not worth
we'll
that.
agree on that one. But
Yes,
he's worth more than Austin
He's
Reeves, I
probably
would
worth
say.
Dylan Brooks' contract, maybe if everything was fair in this world.
exactly, right? That's what I'm saying.
And
I don't
Dylan
even think
Brooks
I don't
deserves
think
the
Dylan Brooks
2 year.
deserves Dylan Brooks' contract.
But he probably just wanted to stay in LA. I think he's made like 330 million in his career. So I
Yeah.
don't at a certain point what's money, right?
So honestly, I think that is pretty much the coverage of free agency. Before we get too much, I will ask everyone's opinions on your favorite teams right now. I like everyone being involved with their respective communities. If this podcast led to anything, I would love more Nets interactions. So what do you think about your team, Matt? What do you think about the Lakers right now after
Dude,
the draft and free agency? Because they were pretty active in free agency.
yeah, they honestly been enough. Rob Pelinka, he's been on the prowl. I like Gabe Vincent. I think
Uh,
it's kind of risky to go with that type of because that I was just telling you guys this too. I think it's kind of one of those deals where it's like it could either really work out and you get him for a steal, or it's kind of like okay, this isn't kind of what we wanted. We might need to trade him later. I like honestly. I think the Tariq Prince, is that how you say his name?
Terrion.
Yeah.
Tarion Prince. Um,
Tarian.
I like him. I know he's got some defense, and he got the scat too. He can shoot 38% from three,
He's a good
which we
shooter.
struggled. Yeah. Gabe is going to help with shooting as well, ball handling too. I think he runs the 1 through 2, maybe.
Yeah.
The only thing I think we got good ball handling, pause, and we got and then I think we got shooters and defenders, but the only thing we're missing is that paint presence, and that's what I said. I mean, I said we were going to sign all this, but we still need a big man.
You got Jackson Hayes. That's a tall
So
guy.
this is what I wanted to
Hey,
bring
he's
up.
not.
So
I
Jackson
heard
Hayes
he's a bad
could be.
locker room guy.
Yeah, I could
What?
see that. A
Jackson
diva.
Hayes
What'd
is
you say?
apparently a diva. Yeah, that's why the
Who?
Knicks are not looking forward to re-signing him or anything like that. So
Who?
Jackson
that's
Hayes.
he'd be your starting center
So
technically.
so yeah, so this is what I'll discuss with you, Matt. So they were pretty active. You told me you hated D'Angelo Russell. He's back, and I'm like,
Yeah.
That's a great. Yeah, you left that one out. That's
yeah,
gross.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
no, I was getting.
What
Yeah.
about Rui? Really getting the 3 years for
I like
51 million.
I like Rui back. I don't like D'Lo. I honestly, if you could switch D'Lo and Lonnie because we lost Lonnie to the Nets on a 1 year deal,
You'd rather have Lonnie Walker?
yeah,
That's funny.
Lonnie literally came. Lonnie, what did compared what
The
D'Lo did
Lonnie
to
Walker
what?
game. Yes, I know what you're talking about, but
I don't know. Yeah,
you were
I
just
don't know if
laughing. You sign these people that are like Gabe Vincent had a good playoffs, but like you're signing role players for kind of like I don't know significant money. I know the Lakers can do
Yeah,
that, but like um yeah, Terrion Prince. I like the signing. I'm like, what? How does he fit in there? What is your ideal starting five? I'll ask that. What's your ideal starting five with these
I
signings?
with these signings,
And first
who
one off the
what point
bench.
guard? What point guard do they have? What point guard do
D'Lo.
they have? They have D'Lo and Gabe. Is that it?
Is Gabe like a designated point too? I don't know.
No, he was bringing the ball to Miami, but Miami's a weird team.
Yeah, they were kind of funky. Like I
So
think like who else did y'all have? I'm gonna look.
to to be
No.
honest,
Oh my God, Cam Reddish. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
dude.
that
Cam
was
Reddish
big.
too.
He's a good ball player.
But like,
Honestly, I
those aren't
want.
natural points. D'Lo's got to be in there, and you hate it. You didn't like it.
I really do, but
Well, I
it's gonna
mean,
be kind of funky.
You
So
could go Reeves Vincent probably.
no,
And
no, I'm getting freaky. I'm putting LeBron at the 1.
I
Who
It's
mean,
who's
positionless basketball. Okay,
so who are
I'm
we
putting
playing?
LeBron at the 1. Reeves, Gabe, 2 or 3, and we could put either AD because he's a little crybaby at 4.
And Jackson
If he wants to be a
Hayes.
man, he can play at the 5. And then we put Jackson Hayes or Tyrese Prince at the 4.
Terrion? Dude, this is a small
Tarion, yeah,
team.
that man is usually like a small forward only kind of guy.
Yeah, like he's like a forward that plays around the perimeter. He does drive, but I think
You
he
could
lines
put
up out there.
I want
Rui at the
AD at the
center or
5.
vice versa.
You want AD at the 5, bro?
Oh, I forgot about Rui. Wait, put Rui at the 4. My bad. I completely forgot him.
Rui and
Rui at the
AD.
4. Yeah.
And
Yep.
then
Okay.
Davis at the 5, assuming Davis.
That's a nice line. And then we have D'Lo at the 6. Of course. Put him at the 6.
All
I
right.
know. Yeah, you're paying a lot of money for him to be the 6th man, but
I mean,
who
he could get.
signed that
I
man?
think they might try and trade him again, to be honest. But
Who signed off on him on that signing? Because if I was a GM if he came back and said, "Look, I'm looking for an extension or a signing," I'd be like, "Yeah, maybe you can go talk to the Clippers." Like, they're
D'Lo?
since they play in our building.
Would
But
you rather have Westbrook again on his current deal, or keep Russell?
bro,
D'Lo.
I've been a Russbrook stan since day one, and I'm taking Russ on that deal, and then I'm kicking D'Lo to the curb, and I'm signing Lonnie Walker.
Just Lakers, all former
Oh
Lakers. This guy
yeah, there
is
might
so.
be some bias here, bro.
Why is Lonnie Walker better than D'Lo? Clearly, the Lakers did not think that.
What does D'Lo do better than Lonnie though?
Eh,
Like,
but, play the point, which is what you need.
but I'm saying though, we could get Russ and we could get Lonnie though. All
LeBron is
right,
just
would
gonna
you take?
dribble
I
the
mean,
ball the
Russell was
whole
definitely
time.
out on that team, bro. He would never go back to the Lakers.
No
Ooh, Russ?
shot.
No, Russ. He wouldn't go back. He's been disrespected too
That man
much.
literally was like having a temper tantrum as LeBron got like the highest career points or whatever.
It was
Yeah,
crazy. But
that's
that's
my
enough
take on
Lakers.
the
Yeah,
Lakers.
that's
Yeah,
enough.
that's my take.
I think it's just it's funny. It's just like who we could have used, these old Lakers. That's who we could have used.
Get the ghost of Kobe.
I'll talk about the Nets in 1 second. You go for it, Ty. What moves did the Wizards do here? So obviously the big one
Who's
was Jordan Poole, but then they also in these trades pick up Landry Shamet, former Net, Tyus Jones, Danilo Gallinari, Muscala. Ryan Rollins we could
Gallery?
ignore.
So Gallinari, I heard, is probably not sticking around, so I'm not gonna include him too much.
Oh, the Kuzma extension.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I
That
forgot to talk about
extension's
that.
okay. I mean, we'll keep him around for now. We'll probably trade him before that contract's over. But I'm sure he couldn't get any more money anywhere else. I don't think he was looking to come back, but whatever. We'll take him in open arms. But yeah, I mean, starting five, we have enough to be a very bad team, but be very good in some moments. Tyus Jones, Jordan Poole, Denji, Kuzma, and then Gafford. I guess that's probably our starting five. That's pretty
Uh-huh.
bad. That's you're probably not cracking an 82 average in 2K with that lineup.
Who was
So
the rookie? Who was the rookie? Bilal Koulibaly or whatever.
oh right, yeah. I mean he'll get some minutes. That's a plus.
He's there. I looked. You just named the starting lineup. Went. It's pretty bad. So
Well, it's all relative, right? Obviously,
yeah.
we're not trying to be in the middle. We want to be historically bad, even though the next draft is not that good. So I'm cool with it. We have some good assets. Before we didn't really have shit. Have we ever established? Are we a cussing podcast?
I'm not censoring shit.
So okay, all right, no, okay, good.
You wanted to be PG
I mean, I think we
for
all
the
know
kids.
I wouldn't make that work.
For the kids. We're for the children here. Over here at HallBall Pod.
HallBall Pod for the kids.
All right.
All right, that's enough. Talk about
I
the
think that's all I
children.
got on the Wizards, though. I think we're in a good spot. Where we need to be.
Mm-hmm. Now we're gonna talk about the Brooklyn Nets here. I
Wait,
see.
can I add a comment about the
Of
Washington,
course.
about the Wiz? All right,
Please
so I'm
do.
sorry, dude. I actually like this Pool Kuz combo. I'm not gonna lie. I think they can build off of it with picks. I'm not
Yeah.
hating, but
Maybe
I
they would both
mean,
have to take a few steps forward for sure.
look, I mean, I was looking around. I mean, think about it though. Like, say in 2-3 years, they come up with some picks. They come up, they got good role players. They got good cap. They got Jordan Poole, who's could be more of a vet because he's 24. I mean, in a few years, he's already won he's been on multiple. He's how many championship runs has he been on? 2?
Only one. Only
Yeah,
one, but he's been to the
Okay,
they
well,
weren't
He's
here to
been to the
report to him.
playoffs.
but
He lost in the
I
play-in.
mean, but if he brings that culture, the Warriors culture, to the Wiz, like that's pretty big.
That is probably one of the longest shots ever, though.
I was gonna
We're
say, I
gonna
was
take
like,
a dynasty culture from a guy they didn't want, who literally left because they got punched by Draymond Green, who's from that dynasty. I just don't think
What?
that's probably not the case.
He was literally Steph Curry's and Clay's understudy, though.
yeah, so you could like say that he can progress, but I will say I don't know if Jordan Poole is a culture changing personality.
Maybe if we hired Bob
You're not
Myers as the
wrong.
president of everything, that would be maybe the case.
Hmm.
But I
I'm
don't.
just saying,
That,
there's a possibility of it,
Oh,
I
I
mean, yeah,
agree.
it's not zero.
and
It's
and
not zero.
and I like where the Wizards are going.
You know,
With
I
Dominic
like that
Cooper,
team. I like that team a little more too. I think Poole with a lot more
yeah.
opportunity is gonna look good. Kuz was looking good in his in his play. I just don't
And
like.
in his fashion, he looks great in his fashion.
I think I don't know where I hate the team is the big men. I don't know anyone besides like Gafford.
Who's okay. I mean, he's cheap. He's fine.
Yeah, yeah, but um, Gallinari if he plays a four, that's just like a weak defensive four. It's yeah, it's gonna be pretty bad,
but
but it's
but
what you
but
want at the same time.
I'm not saying this season though. Not this season. I'm saying in the possible future.
Yeah, I think
But
Jordan Poole could flourish.
I'm sure
yeah.
the Wizards championship odds are pretty high. Maybe throw $1 on that. But
All right, boys.
All right,
Now,
my bad, Dennis. I didn't mean to go on a
no,
tangent.
100%. I think it was fair to talk about getting your opinion on some of the Jordan Poole stuff. But then
since you're a bandwagoner,
I have the Brooklyn Nets here, and their moves have been a little interesting. There are people that I didn't know were leaving, but you have a good idea. You're like, okay, Patty Mills gone, perfect, that makes sense. Um, Patty Mills, Seth Curry, Landry Shamet, I guess got traded for, but that was a former net that was rumored to come. We're kind of in the Dame sweepstakes still, but I'm hearing mostly in Miami stuff right now.
I mean, yeah, what would he? He's no closer to winning a championship in Brooklyn. That would be at best
Why
a lateral move.
why not? If you put all
Come
right
on.
with
Dennis,
Come on.
okay.
Damian Lillard, wait, Michael Bridges and Nick Claxton. Listen, those are two scorers. What does Anthony Simons and Scoot Henderson have over Michael Bridges and Nick Claxton? What about Cam Thomas off the
That's a weak
bench?
argument. He's not. He doesn't want to stay there regardless.
We don't know. Well, all
We
right.
do.
No, I'm saying he might want to go to Brooklyn is the deal, but we don't know. We also have Ben
Nope.
Simmons.
He wants to go to Miami. He wants to go to Miami.
I forgot you have him. Oh
Yeah, we
my
also
gosh.
Ben Simmons is just like still alive.
I heard today that there's a chance of a 3-way trade coming up for him. But that could be just propaganda.
I heard he was gonna play for Australia, and then he was like, nah. I'm like, oh, so I'm just not gonna know if you're good or not until the fucking dude.
I
I'm
mean,
I I still believe in Ben Simmons. Like Ben Simmons is in there. I feel like if you take Spencer Dinwiddie's ass out of the point guard role and put in like an old that last year Ben Simmons, I would enjoy that so much more. Dinwiddie sixth man, Cam Thomas, Royce O'Neal off the bench, Lonnie Walker's there. Oh yeah, our signings. I'll just
I'm,
say our signings:
I'm sorry.
Lonnie
Can we
Walker.
pause real quick, Matt? Can we see your mug again? What was this one?
Yeah, this one is a bike from Italy.
Wow,
That's fun, right?
that's a good bit. If you come every time with a different nice mug.
That is the bit. That is the bit.
It is fun, and
Sorry,
he's nicely dressed again.
can't relate.
Always the bit.
Yeah, but the Nets. If we're talking about ideal start, we all brought up our starting lineups. Ben Simmons, I want to start at point guard. It's probably going to be Dinwiddie. Bridges at the 2, Cam Johnson, who we just extended at the 3. Uh, Either Ben Simmons or like Dorian Finney-Smith at the 4. Nick Claxton at the 5. Off the bench, Cam Thomas, Lonnie Walker, Royce O'Neal, our rookies that we drafted. One of them's hurt, Tariq Whitehead, but Noah Clowney is the backup big man. He's gonna be the center. We have Day'Ron Sharp, if y'all remember him.
Don't.
Nope. Edmund
Nope.
Sumner is the last person of note.
Yeah. Those sound
But
like people that are going to be out of the league after their first contract.
oh, and we also got Dennis Smith Jr. That's fun. He was good
Did you-
when
did
LaMelo
you-
was out.
Did you talk about Cam? Did you say Cam Thomas?
Cam Johnson is who we extended, but yeah, Cam Thomas is on the bench as well.
But
I think he hates us.
back to back 40 points.
I think he hates us though. I don't know.
I would hate you too if I was benched after dropping back to back 40 points.
I explain this to you one time. Cam Thomas is an interesting case because when he's not scoring, it doesn't look good out there. Like Cam Thomas, like 1 for 9 game looks bad because he's shooting over 3 people. Like he has this confidence that's incredible to have, but also with Cam Johnson and Michael Bridges, we don't just need like 3 scores like that. Dinwiddie's at least a better passer. So Ben Simmons, if Ben Simmons was fucking good again, this team would have a lot less to worry about. But I don't know what we're gonna get of this motherfucker.
I think it's safe to say nothing.
What makes it safe to say? What makes it
been
safe to say?
it's been when was the last game he played? Literally, it's been like 3 years, if not 4.
No, but even in his weird injured-filled last season, he would have like random he had a 20-point triple double. It's so weird. And then we just shut him down because he's injured again.
Yeah, he was injured. He definitely didn't shut himself down. That definitely didn't happen.
Damn. All right. You've always hated
Honestly,
Ben Simmons every time we talk
I'd rather
about him.
my team years by far, Dennis.
The Wizards.
Yes.
Than the Nets.
Yes.
If you think I've been in perennial misery, the Wizards have been in perennial misery.
But I haven't. I just joined the team, so.
Oh, come on. You
So,
gotta claim the past.
So just because, no, I'm even talking about currently. Like, why would you want to be that, like, Gafford than Nick Claxton?
I don't care about any of our players. That's the beauty of it. We're going to probably be the number 1 pick for the next 2 years.
You think you're the worst team in the NBA?
That's a stretch. I really do. You got two good players.
Okay, the Magic, they might be pretty bad.
The Pistons,
okay.
the Rockets have been bad.
The Rockets have Dylan Brooks, though, bro.
Yo, come on.
He's got that dog in him.
I mean, even if we're just like exclude Victor Wembanyama from last season's Spurs, would you say the Spurs last season are worse or better than the Wizards this season?
Wow.
They were better because they had Popovich only.
No way. They were literally the worst team by far. Like,
they looked pretty bad.
I think they won like 12 games.
They weren't the worst. They weren't the worst team, though.
Yeah, I think it was actually like the Pistons or Rockets.
Yeah. That's why it was.
They had the third favored odds to get the first pick, and they got it. That's why they called it rigged.
Yeah.
I mean, even then, though, like, I got the Wizards blowing the Spurs out last season.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're in a way worse situation, but you're saying you'd prefer it. Like, we're also rebuilding. This is like we just got rid of. We just got rid of like Kevin Durant. Yes, like we got the pieces, we got the trade picks.
Rebuild in my head for
but
you,
we also got the picks that aren't ours. So like losing does not like make my team better. Like we're looking at Phoenix, we're looking at Dallas. Like we're not even I don't even think we have our picks. So it's really weird. So like
Yeah, you don't.
you're all in tank mode. Like we can't even tank. Like it's all other people.
That's worse then. That you guys just suck.
We have better
Okay, I
players
don't.
than you.
I,
I don't know
I
if
was
you can
gonna
Even
say
when
say
that.
I
I.
lose, it's a win.
You're so I hate that. I hate you. That is terrible. All right. Well,
Should we do a real quick team wins for the season now that everything's kind of finalized?
wow. So our personal teams wins totals?
Yeah, yeah. Just a quick guess off the top of your head.
I just told you I don't know what the fuck Ben Simmons is. I don't know what
I
the
mean but
Okay,
we're at
Tyler.
the point. This is kind of
Go
a
ahead,
marker.
Tyler. Go ahead.
I mean, mine's if we won 20 games, that sounds like a good number. No
I
more
was
than
okay.
gonna.
that. No more
I
than
was
that.
gonna say that you guys are probably in the 20-30 range.
No, not 30. That would be crazy. If we had
I
Westbrook
hope.
on our
I
team still,
hope 30. I would love to see you guys win over 30 games.
bro, that would be like another 8th round pick. That'd be or
I
another
know, right?
Eighth round,
It would be
eighth
perfect.
overall.
yeah, 8th overall. Yeah.
Yeah.
um,
What do you think with the Lakers? What do you think?
I think. All right, so I think we're gonna go through it in the beginning of the season. Like, I mean, we just signed like what 8 new players. Like, I think we're gonna go through it. We're not gonna mesh. You know, LeBron's gonna hold his camp and everything before the season, before training camp starts, try and build chem, all this. But I think I got us winning like maybe 50 games.
Yeah. I see y'all as like
No,
a
like,
three, at least like
yeah.
1 to 4 range, maybe if everything goes well. Worst case, maybe a 5-6.
I don't see them in a 1 to 4. I see them in more like a 3 to 6. But in the playoffs, not in the play-in.
Yeah.
I still like a 3 seed. Wow.
I mean,
A
50
three
wins
seed
would
at the
put you in
stretch.
that range.
Yeah.
Well, what do I think of the Nets?
Mm.
We were a 6 seed without most of it was with Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that too.
So, if we could break 500, that would be cool. I'm saying 42. Oh no, is it 41 and 41? Because it's
Yeah.
82.
That would be a
I
50.
I think I think that's where this team is. It's like you build on what you have, and what you have is at least a playoff team. Well, I think we're a playoff team.
Well, and keep in mind the Wizards are in your division, so you'll play them more. So that's probably a few W's.
Yeah,
You play the Knicks, you could probably squeak some out with them quite a bit. Uh,
they beat us
then
when
you
we
play
played them.
Milwaukee. That would be tough.
Yeah.
Is
Quick
Milwaukee?
quick news nuggets. I forget. Who cares? Who cares about divisions in
Yeah,
basketball,
you're right.
anyways?
Who cares about the Nets?
Fuck you. Giannis had knee surgery. Expected to be healthy by camp. Did not know he even had like a knee problem. Oh, postseason knee problem. Got that worked out. Grant Williams to the Mavs. That was like a today trade. Thought that was worthy picking up, but not really worth a discussion. Just kind of surprised. Bol got released by the Magic. Would you
Yeah.
guys take him on either one of your teams?
No.
I would sign him for cheap. I mean, you have nothing
I'd
to
sign
lose.
him. I'd sign him.
I'd sign him for cheap. I mean,
That's funny. My last thing I wanted to bring up too is a flopping penalty that's wondering to get to be introduced into the game. Thinking about counting it as a foul. Pretty sure.
and a technical free throw.
Mm-hmm. The flop.
So, yeah. So I'm like halfway. I'm like, all right, yeah, like the flopping, like it's getting out of control. But like I'm also like, Dennis Schroeder said it last season too. He was like, sometimes when they do like when they hold you or they set like illegal screens, like you got to show the ref that it's like an illegal screen. So like you have have to flop to show like the the refs are like still like wishy washy with calls, so it's like
Mm-hmm.
you have to show them that it was a bad like screen. But on the other hand, I'm like, okay, like some of the Dennis Schroeder flopping is crazy, and around the league, it's gotten crazy too. So I
I,
mean,
I love the Dennis Schroeder call out there specifically.
there was one play that really made me mad where he flopped and they ended up getting a three versus the Nuggets. But anyways, yeah, I'm kind of like in between about it. Like I like that they're cleaning it up, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
also like, I hope they don't overcall it to the point of like, oh, like he was showing it was like an illegal screen, so it's like a wash.
Yeah, like it's gonna be real ugly if like a flopping call becomes like a vital like 2 minute like
Yeah,
ref call
I would be
and
furious
crunch.
if we lost because of a flopping call. Like,
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. But I do agree. I think they've established the kind of flopping as like a normal anyways in the NBA. I feel like their punishment prior to this was just not calling the flops. Because like if you're looking at someone that flopped and got the no call, it just looks so fucking goofy. When they throw up the three and you just see a brick and they're now on a
yeah,
fast break. I feel like that stuff was already imposed. They're just like they want a legit like blow dead whistle call now because just not calling it and letting the game go on is kind of just like a not a like a ruleless way of correcting it. I don't know if it changes that much. I think the NBA is always kind of naturally flopping, and it seems like they're okay with it. Maybe they want to cut it back a little bit, but I don't know if it'll change that much, to be honest. I think LeBron, I love, that's my GOAT. Not going to forget. A flopping penalty would hurt him a ton, and I don't think stars would be getting these calls. They'll be like random role players. They'll get a flopping call, like Dennis Schroeder. Like I think it'll be like LeBron earns himself. LeBron earns to not get the flopping call. But like
Well,
every rule in the NBA, it's all up to ref interpretation.
they're probably going to go pretty hard about it in the beginning of the regular season. By like end of the half, in playoffs, it's probably not going to be a big deal.
Hmm.
It might be, a slight correction in the right direction. Hopefully.
Oh, bars. That was fucking tough.
one of the interesting points though they did with that rule though is that they don't have to call it right away. They did like the advantage thing they do in soccer
Oh,
where they could wait until a
VAR.
dead whistle. Yeah, they could wait until a dead whistle and then be like, okay, Dennis Schroeder flopped. We're gonna give you guys a technical free throw. So that's
Mm.
cool that they're not gonna like interrupt play.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah, I like that. Makes it better.
And
Yeah,
the tech would incentivize to not flop because it literally costs a point now. Okay, maybe there is something interesting about it. You're Thank you for the clarification, Matt. I feel like helps
sure.
me understand it a lot more. All right. And then, well, honestly, the last thing I think we should cover is just like the summer league. I know, little spoiler, not too much of summer league. Summer league is even going on right now. I think game one was played like the last 2 days for a lot of these teams. Uh, I know I saw something about Brandon Miller having kind of a rough start, but then have like scraping himself up a great game in the second half. Keegan Murray was top five in summer league scoring last year, back on pace, like a big 27 or 28 piece from him in the summer league. So shout out to my Kings. Didn't really mention them a lot this epi, but they made some interesting moves too, trading for Chris Duarte from the Pacers. Very good, like utility guy, good defensively, good at driving the ball. I don't know if he's a consistent shooter or anything, but Duarte is kind of good. They extended
Some
Sabonis.
are saying Sabonis is overpaid now.
Really, um, an upsetting part about Sabonis in the playoffs was Kevon Looney out rebounding him, and he's supposed to be a rebounding guy. But what Sabonis does for the offense, like sometimes he's the main distributor over De'Aaron. I think he averages more assists than De'Aaron. Sabonis does a lot for your team, and
Yeah.
Not
He's
the
kind of like a
best.
diet Jokic
Yeah,
in
Diet
in
right.
all
Jokic,
the
that's funny.
in all the most offensive ways, like that you can
Yeah,
like some.
not shooting. Not
Yeah,
shooting. Yeah. But Jokic also, how do you mimic this?
yeah, he shoots like me, bro.
And then yeah, not great defensively either, which is why people were just like, but the NBA is different now. The NBA the NBA doesn't need to be your best defensive player being your center anymore, man.
Now let me ask you this: do you think the Kings have a bad comeback year now that they already reached the hump of the playoffs?
I think the best case scenario is that they're not going to repeat that regular season. Like Kings 3 seed in the West last year
Hey, when you have to play the
was
Lakers, Golden State
insane.
all the time, yeah,
hmm I cannot believe what the
and
Kings
Phoenix.
did.
That's all Phoenix is in that same division too.
hmm But
They
then
play
like
more.
the players like Malik Monk, that like what they became in those like later. I saw Malik Monk drop 40 like 45 against the Clippers against like Kawhi. And Malik Monk hit like a game winner. I'm like, all right, you get Malik Monk next to De'Aaron Fox again, and he's like a star. Like every time he's played with De'Aaron Fox in his career, Malik Monk has been a sight to see. The big problem with them in the playoffs was Kevin Herter going quiet, Keegan going quiet, Sabonis getting dominated the rebounds. We re-signed Alex Len for the backup center position. That's dog shit. That is a horrible pickup right there. Alex Len is terrible. Sarah,
What did he sign for?
3 million vet minimum, but why would you
Well,
want him back? It's my question at all.
there are a lot better big men out there, that's for sure, for the same price.
I'm
It's
from Maryland.
it's
He went to
Slim.
UMD. I should not hate him, but I do. I hate that guy. He's so bad. I'd
You just
rather
wish he was
Tristan
on the
Thompson.
Nets. Come on.
Say it. Sorry.
You just wish he was on the Nets. That's why you're so mad.
Yeah. You wish he was on the Wizards because then you guys would suck even more. Yeah, that's what you want, right? You would actually prefer
If they
Alex
want to
Len.
trade him to us for a second round pick, we'll probably take him.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever, bro. But I honestly, boys, I think that's all we got for today. I think unless we workshopped the debate, but we didn't even have a topic. So I guess we'll do that next week. Something to look forward to.
They
Well, there's not going to be much NBA news moving forward. Really, we really hit the thick of it
hmm
all.
Well, I'll probably want to talk about Summer League a little more because Summer League, y'all,
well
if y'all are a little deprived, man, Summer League is kind of exciting, just a little. It doesn't fully mean anything. Like Cam Thomas was like the highest scorer the 2 seasons prior to this. That's probably why I loved watching it. But it might not mean anything, but it is kind of fun looking at all these young guys. And then Chet Holmgren, you're watching him, Brandon Miller, first look of him in a Hornets jersey. There's some storylines there. So maybe some summer league review, but then also I think we're going to go with a debate next week. That's what we should definitely do. I'm going to host some, but then maybe you guys should look for some questions to ask us too. Because
Nice.
I want to debate a little in there. I want to get in there.
yeah. Write
Yeah.
some comments. Write some topics in the comments.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. The episode 1 was I put kid friendly and comments were disabled and stuff. But I turned this off,
Oh,
boys.
that's why I just thought we did that to be.
I'm pretty sure we
Yeah, I was
cursed in
wondering
there.
about that.
I'm pretty sure we cursed in there. I didn't mean. I've got it fixed. Don't worry about it.
Cool,
So
cool, cool.
comments are there. Everything's gonna rip.
Talk shit about us.
Yeah. I want to
Helps,
hear
it helps the algorithm, guys.
I want to hear what you think. If I'm
Yeah, I want to
overhyping
hear
or
everyone.
if I'm overhyping Ben Simmons, just let me know, man.
The answer is yes.
The answer is I'm not even
I think
hyping
everyone
him
can agree
up.
that you are.
I'm not
Those are
even.
your. Bro.
You're hyping up the return.
Don't you have a Ben Simmons jersey, bro?
No, I have a Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant jersey.
Oh, that's tough.
I even have a Harden jersey.
Oh wow. You really you should have went with the Claxton jersey, bro.
The free throw god.
I should have went back and bought a bootleg Dinwiddie again since he's fucking back.
Love
All right,
Dinwiddie. I don't understand the hate.
let's wrap
Bro,
this.
I loved Dinwiddie back in the day. I think he just came back and expected to be. It's like,
The guy.
I could be that guy, and we're like, please no, please don't. Actually, I've seen this before, Spence. I don't. Uh, but whatever, man. All right. Appreciate everyone for watching, and see y'all next Friday. All right, boys. Adios.
Alrighty. See y'all later.